So here's a local service based in West Northamptonshire with a very specific remit. It's to help dads, male carers that have a child with special educational needs and or disability, and they need their voice to be heard into the new year. Sens for Dad is set up by Paul Meadows. So nice to see you, Paul.
Hi, Bernie.
You're a father to a child with special needs?
Yes, I am. My son has autism and ADHD and dyspraxia.
So I'm guessing for you to set this up, you felt that there was nowhere to go that spoke to you, yeah?
Yeah, it was. I went through about 9 years ago, a patch of mental ill health with regards to stress and everything else, and I kind of looked for support, saw that there was no support out there, so it was a case of, shall I wait for something to be set up or shall I set it up myself? And it just kind of went from there, but it's grown since. COVID has just really put a additional strain on the families.
Has it felt lonely?
Yeah, it does. I know as well with regards to this, dads always feel the one that's left out, okay, because services will contact the mother, and they're pretty much left out of things. So, and as well, us blokes, we like to keep things to ourselves, keep it all internalised and all that. So, trying to encourage people to talk and take part is one thing, but you have your friends that may not have a child with special needs or disability, and if you talk to them, they don't really get it. So some of the things that you kind of go through with regards to challenging and getting the best thing for your child.
So explain those pressures then that you felt bringing up a child. First off, we should say that there's very deep love. When one
Yes.
talks about this,
Yes.
Your child is beloved by you.
Yes.
I understand that. But there will be additional strains when they're being a parent of a child with special needs.
There are. I mean, a lot of it with regards to, when you're a parent, you want the best for your child. And for those that haven't got a child with disabilities, it's quite straightforward. They go to school, they see the doctor if they need to see the doctor, and pretty much they can go through. They may need support with like the usual school stuff, but for a dad with a child or family with a child with special needs, there's the additional support that's kind of needed to kind of help them to develop, to go forward. And as parents, we want to kind of prepare them and help them as much as can ready for adulthood.
Are local authorities helpful, understanding, in your experience?
Well, it's quite hard because there are quite a lot of cuts to services, cuts to funding and everything else. So it is quite hard to do that. Being able to kind of talk to them and really be, you have to push things, you have to fight. And they've got literally thousands and thousands of families, and it's increasing all the time.
So I'm guessing that one of the great things about Sens for Dad is that you've got people who have done that fight already.
Yes.
So you can get together
Yes.
and one can say, well, this is how I did that.
Yeah.
You may want to try this way, yeah?
Yes, yeah. I mean, especially when it comes to certain behaviours with your child or wanting certain tips, you can share these. One of the things as well is things happen. Things don't always go right. So as well, it's a venting kind of area because people just want somewhere to vent. Just to let off steam, frustration, and everything else. Once that's done, then you can start talking. But we have dads that just quite freely, have you seen this? Have you seen that? This might help you. And we've got dads that have got the experience, but are now starting to get more and more dads that are just coming into the whole process. And when you do that, it's quite a massive shock to the system, especially if you haven't got experience in that particular area, and you don't know where to go, what to do, what to help, and for some people it really gets too much.
Well, that's interesting because you're part of the Zero Suicide Alliance.
Yes.
That's how bad it can get, isn't it?
Yes, it is. We do have quite a few dads, well, quite a few that do have mental health issues, do struggle with their mental health because of the additional strains that can be put on them as a family. And as part of the Zero Suicide Alliance, what it is about raising awareness, being able to have those difficult conversations. There's free training on their website, which people can go on, anyone can go on there and do the training. I think it's the longest one is about 20 minutes.
Okay.
So it's about learning to have those difficult conversations, being able to talk to someone that is having suicidal thoughts, and be able to help support them, and having, because a lot of people think suicide, I can't really talk about that to that person because I might push them, further. But actually, that it's the exact opposite. Being able to talk to someone, talk to someone in the correct way can actually help them.
And in my experience, if they want to talk, people will talk. And if they don't, when they're in that position, then they won't. They'll change the subject. That's as simple as that, isn't it, really? You have your own website. It's sendsfordad.org.uk. There are links on there. Sends4 is the number 4. And the stuff you do. You've had your Christmas break.
Yes.
So now you're back on it on Sunday. You've got an activity club and a drop-in session.
Yes, basically we do every Sunday, we have a drop-in session at the Frank Bruno Foundation.
Yep.
So dads can come along. There's free, all the stuff that we do is free. So they can go on the gym equipment. They can have a go at, it's all non-contact boxing, but we also do all the exercises. But there's areas where they can sit, have a chat.
And they come on their own, or do they bring their children with them?
They can bring their children. They can come by their own, whichever they want. We've had dads that bring their children along, and it's helped with regards to building those bonds between them, and some you can really see that the children have developed so much, and the relationships between the dad and the child really do.
Because I suppose, I'm not in that position, Paul, so forgive me, but I suppose one's instinct is to protect your child.
Yes.
But to put them in cotton wool, which would be what you want to do, is not good, is it?
Yeah. I mean, what we've got to look at is, as parents, we're never always going to be here. So it's about building up the future for our children to make sure that if anything does happen to us, that they're going to, get on in life, that they, that they are going to be, looked after. And people see disabilities as, you're not going to be able to do this, you're not going to be able to do that. Actually, with the right support, the right help, they can do anything.
And that's what Sends for Dad is trying to do. Sunday then at the Frank Bruno for the drop-in session. What time do you start?
That's 11 till 12.
Okay.
And then we've got a family event in the afternoon at Fernie Fields.
Very good. And then Monday is socialising at the windmill.
Yes, we are. Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things where the dads really start to relax a bit more, is being in that environment where they can enjoy themselves. Sometimes as well with our families, they can't go out and do certain activities because members of the public look at them in a certain way, sometimes disgust, they'll have a go, have words. So a lot of the families don't feel that they can go out. By producing and providing these, they're able to do those types of things and be comfortable.
Well, you do good work. You did Dad Stock last summer,
yes.
So are you going to do it again?
Hopefully going to do it again this year, so it'd be good. So looking for anyone that wants to help us kind of organise that, and of course any bands that want to join as well.
Very good. Well, spread the word. If there's someone in your family, if your son is now a father to someone of special needs and they find it a struggle or just want some advice, there is training and information advice on the website. It'll send you through different links. Sendsfordad.org.uk. Facebook and socials as well. You've got different Facebook pages for Northampton, for Kettering, and for Corby.
Yes, we have.
And then there's a blanket one for Sends for Dad, generally.
Yeah, so basically we cover the whole of the county, and everyone in Northamptonshire can come along to our events.
Yeah.
We don't have to have a diagnosis. They can have a child or a young adult or an adult. We don't kind of say, no, you can't use our services.
Very good. Don't struggle. And what about money for you? Is that a struggle for Sends? Where are you getting your fundraising?
Yeah, I mean, I'm having to to kind of apply for grants, but then you've got a lot of other organisations that are all doing it. There's only so much pot out there, but we're always trying to raise funds. We recently did a calendar where a lot of our children and families did some artwork and put that into a calendar. The year before we did Dads in Drag calendar.
I don't want to see that. Don't want to see that. Don't do a nude one next year, because you're never coming on this show again.
No. That's never happening.
It's nice to see you, my friend. Sends for Dad, sendsfordad.org.uk.